The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Return the Jewels. Also, there's explicit language. Welcome everyone to the third episode of Return the Jewels. Finally couldn't make it here today, so what I'll do is I will just put his box up right there. This is like a sort of viewer training kind of exercise, I guess, because we're all about brand building here. But today we got a really special episode for you. Today we talk with a very special guest. He's a friend of mine, and he's kind of famous. He was on Fallon right before. He's a stand-up comedian. He was on Fallon right before quarantine happened, so everything paused there. But I don't really know his resume, so I was just gonna read some of it. He's worked at the Music Choice Network in a development capacity, incubating content focused on hip hop and culture. As a host, he's interviewed artists including Camila Cabello, Lil Yachty, Vic Mensa, Marshmello, DJ Khaled, and more. He has also been a digital ad campaign brand ambassador for companies such as Axe Body Spray and Bevel Shave Systems. He is also One Punch Man. If you look him up, you'll see. And this is a good episode. We talked a lot about representation. We got into what it's like growing up. Our guest, I'll say his name, Andre D Thompson. He is a first generation Jamaican. He's of a Jamaican family, and he's first generation, meaning he was born here. We talk about that, and we talk about the tension and the differences that you have growing up when your siblings are much older and they're the immigrant generation, your first generation, and so how that's kind of molded his experiences. And we talked about goals and ambitions, and of course we did Tokenized or Fetishized. And I'm kind of rambling, so here's the interview with Andre D Thompson. Welcome. We have Andre Thomas with us. Andre D Thompson.
Thompson. My
man. I said Thomas. Thomas. Which is we're gonna get into is like how many times does your name get fucked up? Andre D Thomas. Andre D Thompson. I have a friend.
His name. You an Indian man. How you fucking up my easy ass English name?
I cannot believe I did that just now. I'm still in shock.
Fuck.
Your name is in front of me on two different screens.
On every platform
and I have known you now for a long time as well as a friend.
The most simple English white man, easy to pronounce Ellis Island ass name in the world.
So at this point I have a choice.
And you still looked at my name and was like, Darnell? I don't even know.
So I have a choice. I have a choice at this point. Do I double down on my incompetence and deny it?
True.
Or do I just say I don't know what the fuck I did. I'm sorry, man.
You just be like, whoops.
My bad. I don't know what.
Wacky.
I got no comeback for that. Or should I double down and just be like, I think you misheard me.
I mean,
are you sure you didn't mishear me? We can go back to the tape. I have the tape. I have a recording.
See now, going down to the tape is just going to be bad.
I know, it's just going to prove you right.
But it's going to prove you right.
What I do is I would just stall.
Down, delete the tape, double down, move forward.
Right. The tape got deleted in the ordinary course of business, but, who are you going to believe here?
The ordinary course of business. If I say that is guilty, as far as I'm concerned, you did something wrong. You start using too much fancy business lingo, your heart ain't in the right place.
You ever do that? You ever use a lot of big words to get your way?
I feel like I try to, and then every once in a while, I just realize, who am I fooling here, bro? What this shit mean? Let me just say what I mean for real.
Has it ever worked? But has it ever worked, though?
I don't think so, because I usually slap myself. I don't believe bullshit.
Oh,
You know, so I
man.
start with a couple syllables, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying hard. I'm searching my mental thesaurus, trying to get shit. It ain't worth it.
Man, all I know is words.
Man, all I know is words. That's the name of the podcast episode right there.
Man, all I know is words. We should put that on a t-shirt. Speaking of which, buy the merch. I got to get you a shirt.
Merch with it.
Yeah. Okay, so we usually start these interviews with this segment, and I kind of prepped you beforehand a little bit, but it's called
Tokenized or Fetishized.
And I want you to think of like a story in your past or something where you were either tokenized or fetishized, and then explain to us, in your opinion, what's the difference.
Okay, I ain't gonna think. I'm gonna just talk. I'm gonna be doing that thinking business.
Yeah, we're here for it.
Fetishized, finasteride. Okay.
We'll talk about the baldness later.
Tokenized. Have I been tokenized? I'm black, and I'm in the arts, and I'm in America. The answer has to be yes. At some fucking point,
You gotta have 100 stories.
somebody was like diversity somewhere. I must have gotten some diversity somewhere.
Right.
Like, is that what tokenized is?
I mean, I think what more I'm asking is like maybe a story from when you were younger, because the reason for doing this podcast is like to patch together kind of like a guidebook for younger first generation or immigrant kids in America that are just they don't really know like what to get into, and they don't have advice about failures and successes and
I
whatever.
mean, I feel like it's ultimately the same, other than you have a dual cultural thing. When you're a first generation kid,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not in the land that your family's from, of course, which is why you're the first generation. Otherwise, you just wherever the fuck you're from. So your first generation, right? And so now you are of that. When you grow up with other kids, you grow up with some of the shit that they get, but also you grow up with some things that they don't get.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes both ways, where like you might eat different. You're gonna bring some lunch to school that might smell a little different, and then we're gonna have some jokes for you. So fucking what? You gonna get teased. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I was younger, I would have more of a Jamaican accent every once in a while, because you know when you're young, you're just more malleable. So like, I'll just sound like my people more.
Was that only around other Jamaican people or around like
just in general? Like sometimes,
school?
especially when I was younger, because I went to Jamaica a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So when I would come back, I would be spelling certain words the way that they would spell it under like English and British rule, like in and stuff. So I'll be spelling words with U's in it unnecessarily and shit. I just wasn't paying attention to what I was doing or whatever. So that might happen. What else happens to a first generation? You might have the problem of like, what country cultural identity do I tie myself into the most? Which one do I sink my teeth into the most? Do I like go super American, or I'm mad Chinese, son? I'm the most Chinese nigga you ever met. There's two ways people think. They either go, fuck all of this beef patty shit, I'm an American, I'm getting chicken wings tonight. Or they be like, fuck that, blood clot, beef patties all day.
Did your parents refer to like other kids growing up as Americans?
Oh hell yeah. There was a clear distinction of that's how Americans do it.
Yeah.
That's an American thing.
I mean, my parents said Americans, but you know that's an accent thing.
Yeah. They'll be on some, we don't do that. That's some American, that's some Yankee shit. It'll be a distinction of what that's not how it go down.
No.
This house is Jamaica, like it's little Jamaica.
What do you mean?
That's kind of another thing. Like,
what do you mean?
So your first generation, right? So your mom, your dad, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your aunt, everybody's from this other land.
Right.
And then all come over, and then they have your dumb ass here. In that house almost don't feel like America sometimes, depending on the people. If your family comes to America and they like, all right, we're gonna fully assimilate and be American, then they go out there. You can see that group go out their way to be like more American. They like try to they get the clothes with the big logo on it. You know, like this shirt got the big ass
the giant horse.
They're like, I'm the most American person you'd ever meet. It's just like, relax.
We put American flag magnets on our cars.
On the car, they start doing it on the house.
It's only after 9/11, so it's like, you know.
Shit like that, for real. Or they go the other route of, I'm here just because I'm here, but I'm going to be where I'm from.
Okay.
You know, so the house can feel like your home in America feel like a Jamaican home. It feels like an Indian home. It feels like little China. It feels like little Russia. It feels like because your people still are behaving and practicing and speaking and eating like they were back home, and you are this little American person that every time you leave the house, you're in America, and then when you come back home, you back in Russia again. Like you back in India again. You don't. That house feels so fucking different.
So, okay. So going on that, the tension you feel as a kid or whatever growing up in that kind of thing, you have these two wildly different worlds, and I know a lot of people can relate to that. The tension you feel, you think it was better to do that? Or if, like, let's say the older generation was pure assimilation. They're making you wear those giant polos and I Love New York shirts.
Because each culture do it differently. I used to like joke about it when I was first starting out. Maybe I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Because it's such a true thing. Like I noticed like Mexican families, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a Mexican kid that was born here on some, I gotta prove my Mexicanness. They just like, you Mexican. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's no, I have to earn it. I gotta prove it. I'm Mexican. Straight up, everybody accepts them into the culture of being. They push it more than anything. Like you American-ish, nigga. You Mexican first.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's from birth. But it seems like, from my experience, I remember I used to get teased by like certain family members for being the one that was born in America. So they'll be like, you related to us, but you ain't all the way.
Wait, okay, so what's your family like? How many brothers, sisters, cousins, and you're the only one born in America?
I'm the only one. It's big as fuck, bunch of sisters, brothers, cousins, and whatnot, and I'm the only one born here out of all the brothers and sisters.
What,
so
the next oldest sibling, how long ago were they born? Like, what's the age difference, and how long were they in America?
I think like 15 years apart.
Wow.
I just slid the fuck in, bro. Like, I just, whoop, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I came in.
So you're like a miracle baby.
Yeah, I just slid home. Yep. I got shit to do. Can't forget me. I got shit to do. Yeah, that's how it went down.
So you're the only one born in America. You're 15 years younger than your family peer group, basically.
Yeah, than the youngest one.
Then 15, then the youngest. Okay. So I'm imagining you grow up getting treated like a younger generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very. So what is that like? I'm the youngest sibling, but
annoying.
Yeah.
It's cool at certain points because you get spoiled.
Yeah.
When all your brothers and sisters are adults, you know, you get spoiled a little bit here and there. You know, you get a couple sneakers here, you get some extra pizza slices here.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. That's about it. But you also get annoyed more because now you got all these fuckers looking at you like you the outsider in mad different ways. You're not Jamaican. You wasn't born where we was born. You raised differently from how we were raised. You're culturally, they look at you like you're culturally different. It's just like, what the fuck? It's just weird. It's like
none of this is your fault.
Yeah, you get treated weird inside the house, outside the house, because you go to school, and then other kids is like, nigga, why are you like this?
Yo, that's my favorite thing to be.
Accent, you sound kind of different-ish. And then you have the kids who were born in the place that your family's from, and then you see what another 13-year-old full Jamaican is supposed to look like. You know, the full Jamaican.
Right.
He's 13 with an accent, and then they got the little fucking they like some type of, what you call it, like a vaccine patch.
The immigration when you get the vaccine, it's a scar. It's like a
like that, and then you see, like, they get treated different.
Yo, the older immigrant generation loves to use that scar as like a
like they did something.
It's like a badge of courage or some bullshit.
Fuck off! You were just born far. That's it.
You were just born far, and you're being ostracized for how you were born in what circumstances by the family that's raising you in those circumstances.
But like, I would let me ask for a slice of pizza. They'd be like, "Of course, your little stupid American ass want pizza."
They could put all their frustrations with the culture out on you.
Anything, America, this little jackass, you know.
But ultimately, all of this stuff may have been good for you.
I mean, no? That's also perception.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like,
so we were talking about perception. Let me tee this up. We were talking about perception before I started recording. Dre was getting into his philosophy about how everything is perception. I thought it was very fascinating. Talked about relative time and all that. So, please continue.
I was saying, like, the upbringing, perception-wise, it's either I can perceive it as, because, like, all right, boom, a couple times, me explaining my story about it, you laughed, then it could be like, oh, this upbringing has given me character, and, you know, this, I got experience, and I have stories and depth and all of this shit, and some quirky story to tell. It allows me to be interesting or funny or whatever the fuck. But then also, with that, you can say that shit possibly is gonna drive me to therapy at some point. You know what I mean? Like, so with the same thing, there's good you can find in it, and then there's some bad you're gonna be able to find in it too. So like, I don't fucking know. My upbringing is whatever it is. Be. I don't really.
I mean, the fact that you're in a career,
and
it's just about examining yourself, right?
That's encouraged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I was a person that was born that was great with numbers and I just knew how to compute quickly, and now I'm a fucking accountant, it's not cool that I used to get T's because I can't tell nobody this at the water cooler. Don't want to give a fuck. You know, hit your keyboard, nigga.
That guy would be Andre D Thomas.
That's Andre D Thomas. That it's just that type of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess thinking about perspective is a huge thing. I know. I see. So quarantine, all of that, we've had like 5 or 6 months. It seems like from the outside, you've been getting into like monk mode. Is this true? Has this been affecting your philosophy?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. I know we talked about like One Punch Man and all that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I've been you just in the house,
mm-hmm.
You know, and not even just in the house. Just the fact that you got time, and then usually with the time that we have now, most of the time we have this huge block of free time with no dates. There's no like, yo, you got to be here at 4 p.m. Midtown. So there's no like, I don't have to think of a further date thing to go home and change and get dressed to and go get my mind ready for that activity, that part of life, that function of life. So then you fuck around, you still high, you know, you still got time, you still living, you still chilling, eating, watching shit, information going through your brain. You're gonna get bored and think. At least that's what happened to me. I got bored here and there, and I just sat down, shut the fuck up, and just be thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you ever like be chilling, and you in your lazy boy mode. You in your full on, I'm a lazy piece of shit mode.
Yeah.
On or the X is on or whatever, and all these smart TVs now have a function where if you don't touch the controller every 40 minutes, they go, "Oh, this nigga must have died. We leave," and then the shit turns off. Right? A couple times that would happen. The shit would be like, "Yo, you still watching?" I'm like, "I don't feel like even moving, nigga. I'm not even gonna touch it." It turns off, and then I just be sitting there in the dark for 2 hours. Like,
this is the beginning of quarantine.
What the? It happened a couple days ago.
Fair.
Whenever the fuck, yeah, because like it's still going on ish. We're not in like quarantine, but we in quarantine ish now, at least in New York. You know, shit still ain't funky how it was before.
So, what was your daily schedule like before quarantine? I know mine was wild, but like hours were wild, all sorts of things like that. Barely any sleep. What?
I was almost never home. I would come home usually at between the hours of 3 to 4 a.m. My usual was coming home around 3 to 4 a.m. Yeah. Sometimes the nights get long, so I'll come home like 6, 7 a.m. That's happened before.
After giving me a ride home.
Yeah, and then we fall asleep. Yeah. I think every comic people who live in this lifestyle, you go home at this time, you fall asleep, then you wake up. Depending on where you're at in your schedule and your level, you might have a podcast or you have to be on set for something. You got to record something. So you wake up. Most should start at like 11, 9, whatever the fuck. I'll pop up, get that done, and then fall asleep somewhere. You know, you come home, you crash at like 6 or some shit. Certain days you don't have. It'd be like blocks of. It was like college, where like you have something to do at 10 to 11, but you free as fuck from 11:30 to 6 p.m.
Right.
And then from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. you got shit to do.
Yeah.
But then the hangouts are part of work too. So now you got to stay from 2:30 to fucking 4:15.
You let all those extra hours seep into the hangout. Yeah.
And then, that was the schedule. You know, that was
So you probably, I mean, I don't know if this problem is unique to me, but like having the time to step back and think about like, what is the direction I'm going in? What the fuck am I doing? You know, you probably didn't really get much of that either, right? I know I didn't get much of that because I was just keeping myself busy with everything and consequently skill building.
What the fuck am I doing back then before quarantine?
Yeah, I'm talking about before quarantine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't feel much like this shit kind of been like that. I feel like possibly maybe the way I was living was preparing me for quarantine or something or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But I don't know. I like allow moments to just be moments. I try not to like freak out. And then I know that I don't know shit. And I know I can't control a whole lot. So I'm just like, let me try not to bug the fuck out.
And are you saying that you've shifted more to this mentality as quarantine, as being locked in, has progressed, or this was before?
It began 2019.
How old were you?
26.
Okay.
Between 25 and 26.
Okay.
Like right around the time where, like, I got fired. I wasn't really doing a bunch of shit. I was getting a couple gigs here and there. And then I was like frustrated with comedy. And then I got fired. Then shit started to happen here and there. And I don't know. And then even before comedy, like, you see life be weird. You know what I mean? You see life be fucking weird. And you see life do some wild shit. You kind of realize you don't have like it's more shit going on than just you, than just today, than just this moment, than whatever the fuck. I was just like, and I would have like a bad temper when I was younger. Sorry, like even from early, I would get into like, y'all got to learn how to fucking control this shit because it's just.
What was the
People.
you don't have to say, but what was the height of your angriest and like most reckless decision?
The height of I've been drinking mad yerba mate tea, so be right back. Okay.
We'll cut. Oh, that's so funny. If he had a lav mic, we could have gotten one of those clips where like they had it at some sort of city council where this dude, old dude, he had the lav mic pinned to his lapel, then he had to go take a bathroom break, and then everybody at the city council could hear him urinating, and it was hilarious.
So what I did to who when I was angry when?
Yeah. No, I mean you don't have to tell us, but what do you think was the most reckless decision you've made? Just thinking back, like a cursory look back, the most reckless decision you have made due to your anger, irrational anger.
It was 2 times that I was like, I should chill the fuck out. I definitely need to learn how to like meditate or do something.
Okay.
Wilding. One time I thought I lost my wallet after doing this trucking job where I had mad cash in my wallet. So I thought I lost it, and I thought then went from thinking that I lost it to thinking that some dude that was on the truck stole it. So I came in the house and I took my bed and fucking cartoon flipped this shit. Like I was wilding.
Yeah, and all that anger is directed at someone.
It's too like I'm aware of this too, and now I'm like, as I'm older, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you 16, you don't realize that I'm a 6 foot, or maybe I'm 5'10" at 16, or like 5'9". I don't fucking remember. But I'm a fairly tall kid, and I'm 230. Husky ass, heavy ass kid, and then I got this wild ass temper that I'm not controlling. And then when I get angry, I'm in the house. My mom is nothing but women, so they can't physically do nothing. So like it's you got to start thinking about. And I'm a black dude. I'm a big ass black dude, strong, and I get angry. I'm gonna get shot.
And you're thinking this at 16?
It's like as I got older, you better learn how to fucking control yourself because you don't get the same freedom to be like, oh, I'm angry. Well, you getting shot, nigga. You getting shot, you getting tased, you getting something. 40 squad cars is pulling up and all of that. And like anger just don't help, son. Like it's a dangerous fucking thing. And I learned that because like I felt different that day. I thought something, I lost my bread, and then when I couldn't find it in the house, I was like, in my crazy anger, I'm like, I know what happened. That dude on the truck stole it. So I call up my sister husband. I'm like, get that nigga, and I meant it. And I'm like, I want him here now. I was seething because I'm bugging out.
Yeah.
When you angry, bro, you just bugging out. You're not processing no real thought. Not taking your time to be like, maybe the wallet fell out of your pocket, and then when you were cleaning out the truck, it got kicked right under the rug, and nobody noticed.
And that's what happened.
What the fuck happened? It was right under the rug, and I was ready to just go into bullshit. Because I was gonna try to fight a whole grown ass man. Nobody knows how fights go. Anybody who fights know that this shit is a 50-50. You could get touched in the right part of your temple, or he could get touched in the right part of the temple, and then it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing that for $200 and a couple, $40-something. You know what I mean? it was dumb. That one was stupid as fuck. And I was like, yeah, that's trash. Can't be getting angry like that. Don't do that again. And then the other time, this cab driver, I was walking to LaGuardia Community College, and this nigga, he's trying to like park into this cab lot. But this is kind of not my fault. But the reason I said that is because the way I handled it was a little bit hasty.
Sorry, we can't air this part for legal reasons.
And then I just started running, and I was like, I'm bugging. I did not even think, what the fuck was that?
How old were you at the time? We might have to just completely edit the story out, but how old were you at the time?
I was like 18.
Okay.
I was like 18, 19, but and then I was like, I need to fucking relax.
Man, you did the whole accent and everything. I was kind of hoping you'd be like a white supremacist or some shit.
That could happen if I was in a different part of town.
No, right. No, exactly. Yeah.
I'm a dude that grew up in Queens. So when I have some moments, these are the people I have my moments with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, shit, man. You got... I get it.
Yeah.
That's, but that brings us to, what would you say to someone younger, to 16 or 18-year-old Dre, about controlling his anger and why? Obviously, you understand these moments, why he's angry.
First thing, real easy.
Yeah.
This shit, let's not even bring society into it. Not even gonna bring your family into it. The law, not bringing in, possible worldly consequences like going to jail or physical altercation. Just the sheer effect of what anger will do to your physical body and your brain is enough to be like, bro, you don't want to go that route. Another reason gangsters die early is because of the lifestyle. Just having to go from 0 to 100 every day ain't good. It's not good. People brag about being a hothead, but your ability to go from fight or flight every 5 seconds all the time is some type of response of stress, trauma, and like, it's not a pot. If you put a fucking lion, they show it to you all the time. All these fucking TV shows with lions that are like domesticated and they chilling.
Yeah.
It's because they grew up in an environment where it would chill. They never had to use their fucking lion powers. They never had to lion up once.
Their lion powers?
It was chill from the second they was born. It was like, oh, I don't gotta use none of this shit. I ain't fine then.
The gentle giants.
Chilling. But if you put that motherfucker in a different environment, you beat him up some more, you show him some aggression, yada, 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 then it bring him out. It's trash, yo. This shit fucks with your blood pressure. It fuck with your brain development. It fuck with your ability to sleep, insomnia. You will grind your teeth. You would fucking... Getting into fights is trash. You're going to have fucking ear tinnitus. I can't say it right, but ringing of the ear. That happened. Yeah. I have that shit.
Tinnitus? For real?
Yeah, nigga, I got into mad fights. So, like...
Oh, right, because from getting hit. I thought it was just, like, being so angry that you're...
Nah, not from just being angry, just from, like, getting...
I'm an idiot.
The result of anger, though, because if I was a dude that wasn't being angry and I wasn't so quick to respond to a negative with more negative, I possibly have gotten into the fight. You know what I mean? Maybe I would have looked like a punk, but my ears wouldn't ring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I fought 3 niggas and beat them up, but they had to get a couple. You don't not get into fights and don't get hit. Somebody gonna get your ass at some point, and they gonna get you fucking good. I've been hit before where I seen like a flash of white, nigga, where I mean, like, the cartoon's kind of real. Think! I was like, oh!
And they made a sound effect?
I seen the shit just went white, and then colors came back again.
So stuff like that happens to you, then that means that now you shift your focus towards being non-confrontational, and that informs all your decisions, you think, or no?
I mean, I think I did it for myself. I just realized, like I said, like this shit trash. I'm gonna feel bad. I might get sick or some shit as a result of this. Like, just look up what the fuck stress can do to a person's body, bro. Anger doesn't get a different response in your body. It gets seen as stress. It still gets registered the same way. You being angry and you getting stressed
That's
out.
interesting.
Your body still be like, same shit, nigga. So we gonna turn all of this shit on, and you're gonna have to deal with the repercussions of it. So it's just like, this shit useless.
So
Do your best to live
16, 18. How did you come to this kind of level of thinking or mode of thinking?
When I was that young, is because I started seeing like friends die from violence and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I seen like violent stuff. I got into a couple fights. I got my ass whipped a couple times. I won a fight and it didn't feel good. Like just life shit. Shit just is whack. It's fucking corny, bro. It's whack. It's not fun. The shit hurt.
Yeah.
I remember eating cereal one morning and my jaw slipped out of place. Who the fuck? There's not no fucking fun in that. This shit trash.
Your jaw slipped out of place eating cereal.
Because you pour these big dumbass bowls of cereal with these
yeah.
big fat spoons, so you getting this like garden scoop of cherry. You know what I'm saying? You got some garden scoop and some Reese's Puffs, and I'm going for the big scoop. And my shit just linked, and I couldn't close my jaw, and I had to fucking push it back. No one wants to do that at 10 a.m. So fucking, y'all better learn how to talk it out. You know what I mean? I don't know. Try not to be a dick in the first place.
Yeah.
That's it. Just that anger and stress shit, bro. Trash.
Yeah. You weren't doing comedy at this point, were you?
At 18, yeah.
Okay.
I started at 18. So
was it an outlet? Was it an outlet for the anger?
Now I could say yes. Back
Okay.
then I wouldn't be able to see that, but I'll definitely be able to say yes now. Like me, because maybe that's why I would go out so fucking much. I would do like 5 mics a day, 3 mics one day, 4 mics one day, 6 mics sometimes. I'll just be out.
Yeah.
And I was going to school and working like 2 jobs sometimes, or having one. I never didn't have a job. So I either had 2 jobs or 1 job, doing stand-up and going to school. I wasn't going to school and killing it. I did drop the fuck out. But I didn't fail out either. I wasn't going to school and being retarded. Like, I was getting a sweet C.
A sweet C.
Young C murder out here. I was killing them C's.
C murder. Is that what C murder means?
Yeah, he ride for my niggas and he gets a C plus every year.
So it's for the children. Oh.
You can get through life if you get a 65, my nigga. That's all you need. 67, you good.
Yo, I went to a private school. We didn't have D's. After C was F.
Then they was just like, listen, you're gonna be stupid, nigga. We're not even gonna give you that little bit of hope.
No.
That little bit of hope was special. I used to see a 67, I'd be like, so that means I'm Gucci, right? Thank you. I'm out. Fuck out of here.
Okay, so this is good topic area now. How do your parents react to those? Those are your kind of grades? Was that like your level of grades? Or like, what were your grades like? And how do your parents?
Scattered. It would be math would hover between this nigga need help and he passed. Still get him some help. It would be I would like get a 65. Sometimes I get lucky. I get a nice 71 in math, and in English I fall asleep and sneeze a B plus. You know what I mean? I don't show up. I'll coast through that. Social studies, I could coast through that. Science, damn, nigga. I might get me a 65 or an F. Gym, obviously coast through that. What else was kicking my ass? When they started with the fucking mitochondria, at first the biology was killing me because it felt like math with words. It felt like word math. You know what I mean?
Binomial nomenclature, right?
Like that, and I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have like scattered ass grades. It would be it would be like a 92, a 86, a 55, then a 73, then an 80, then a 50. And it was like,
I mean,
show up to school, it would be shit like that.
so you weren't. It just sounds like you were not a STEM guy, and then you're just big at humanities, and you end up doing your work in performance. Performance is humanities.
Even your ability to go, all right, you're breaking down different areas of academia, like, right? The fact they should have that available from jump. See, like, you put this shit, like, you know, the Pokemon
Yeah.
Game Boy, and you start out and you get to pick a Pokemon, and then you get like a trial to see how that nigga perform. And then
I forgot about the tryout.
you get to see the special of, like, all right, this is a leaf type, so I got to do leaf shit to make this one top, to make them good.
Right, yeah.
People are the same fucking way. This nigga is not a math nigga. Even where he's supposed to go. She is not a fucking word person. You give her some like geometry shit, she close her eyes and build you a building, but don't ask her to write an essay. It's gonna be stupid. Put her where you know what I'm saying? People need to be exactly where the fuck they're good at, and then stop doing shit you bad at, and you would not be so unhappy.
Yeah, what was that? What was the thing? It was like an Einstein thing or something about how the school system tries to judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree.
Yeah, I never heard that, but that makes great fucking sense.
Yeah. There you go.
That makes perfect fucking, yeah. Fish can't climb trees. They don't got toes. They can't grip nothing. But they swim great.
Yeah, they swim great. They just forget about it every 3 seconds.
That's true. The niggas.
But no one's going to forget about what Ellen DeGeneres did. I was making a reference to
Ellen D. She was she mean to her staff and make black jokes?
Probably. You know, there's probably a tape of her saying the N-word, which is how they finally got her. Which brings me to N-word or C-word. C-word being coolie.
Coolie?
Yeah.
Coolie only affects people like you if you were born in Jamaica. Coolie was what they call a black person that have your hair.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. Explain the concept to the people that are listening.
Jamaica is very mixed. Where it's a fucking beautiful island, so people keep coming there, and then they want to stay and have kids and shit, and then they mix with the people that's there, and that's how you get people that's my color, or you get fucking. I got cousins that look. When I say these niggas look like China, when they talk, they speak in patois. They have that's out there. You get Spanish-looking Jamaicans, and the coolie ones would be the ones who have Indian descent in them and African. So they'll look kind of black, but then have that type of texture here, or it'll be kind of curlyish because it's mixed with African.
Kamala Harris.
You end up with coolie for the. Like, they usually have more like Guyanese and Trinidad have more coolie looking people in them. Jamaica have a few, but not a whole lot like that.
Ah, okay. So, I mean, the reason I'm bringing it up, and I just mentioned, is all the heat you're seeing around Kamala Harris is the pick, because she's because she's Jamaican and Indian.
Yeah, so she would be.
So, right. So, okay. First, can she be considered African American? This is a huge topic, apparently, that people are really pushing.
With all of these stupid ass names. That's the name of the fucking thing I was trying to tell my mom about.
Please explain your take on this. I want your take on this. Being first generation Jamaican dude in
Like
the arts.
Jay-Z said it, and he said it in a very eloquent, perfect little synopsis. Still nigga. You black. That's it. That's the end of it. Where was she born? I think, California? Is that a part of American soil? All right, everybody, shut the shits. It's done.
Oakland.
That's nigga city. It's finished.
Yeah.
Oakland is all right, man. Where you want to be born? Detroit? You want to be born in the back of the White House? Maybe if she was born in the back of the White House, they'd be like, fine, the bitch can stay. But it's simple. Like, it's really simple. So that's the whole thing with the whole African American, Indian American, black. Yo, where you were born here? You done. That's it.
Black first.
This is how I feel with the whole, because Trump that's another thing the whole presidency of Trump has done is people say, all right, Trump has made it look like anyone can do this. It's blown wide open. You know, there's no respect for the White House anymore. Well, with that, the whole same thing with the perception shit, that's one way to perceive it. Another way is to see that, all right, fine, it is blown wide open for anyone to do this job. So let anybody fucking do it. Are you gonna not run America into the shithole? All right, nigga, come on then.
Yeah.
I don't care if you was born in the last stop on the sea train in Hawaii and nobody knows if that really count in America because it's kind of off the coast.
The sea train in Hawaii.
Are you gonna try to fuck America over? No? All right then, son, come through.
Yeah.
Just make this place not a shithole, and it's kind of it's shitty-ish because you know people talking so bad about how America is the country in the world, blah blah blah. Hey man, people living bad in other places, dog. Like people take they be complaining on their 4G high speed while drinking out of their fucking sweet thermal cool with the socks that have copper in it because their knee tingles sometimes. So this is like, nigga, your life too sweet for you to be bitching this much. Shut the fuck up. All right. Yeah. People taking cold showers in America for the most part because they read on Reddit that it has benefits for your skin health. Meanwhile, there's places in other parts of the world where cold showers happen because they don't got no fucking hot water.
Yeah, but they got good skin.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing. You don't even realize perception. People could be like, damn, look how bad it is. They don't got hot water, but look, these niggas is beautiful.
Well, I mean, where do you think they get the tip about the good skin coming from cold showers?
All of this shit. That's why they start calling avocados superfoods and mangoes is a super.
Yeah.
Bitch, we've been eating this shit since forever.
So that's something I want you to elaborate on. So, you know, like the yucca plant or something that's like indigenous people or whatever use it in their food or whatever. But then, you know, white people brought it in as part of their diet to make whatever the fuck they make with it, and so it priced out native people.
So yucca, native people are familiar with that plant as yucca. In Jamaica, we know it as cassava. Right?
Okay.
Same plant, right? So white people is more so this like it's a very what like I don't know if it's just an American thing or something, but it's like they research the product, the food. They look at it in a commodity way, like what can I say this food has, and then now this food isn't a food, it's like an item to acquire. You got to get this item.
Yeah, it's a video game.
Item. You know what I mean? Like when people was treating these fucking acai bowls the same way you would treat Jordans. Like you wasn't a lit bitch unless you was eating your acai bowl. Whatever the fuck You know, your goji berries. You got a fire bitch and you don't eat your goji berries. Meanwhile, this is somebody's just regular staple diet. But now that you just found out that there's a high count of vitamin C in it, and some magazine pushes it out that this fitness girl eats her goji berry smoothie and they give it a cute nickname, and now they have collagen and it's great for your skin elasticity. And now there's a commercial. Bang, goji berry price market go up. Now you can get peeled ones. They can peel it for you and put in a little cute packaging. And it's capitalism. It's the problem with capitalism. It's not like Americans don't grow up in a way, at least the northern ones don't, but they grow up in a way where they just they walk outside and they'll just eat the shit that's outside.
Yo.
It's a foreign thing to a massive population of this country. What they never in their life just went outside and was like, I'm gonna just eat this piece of leaf and it's normal and that's good. And like that never happened for some. You know
That's crazy.
They really look at food on some, this shit comes from a place. Food is not this, food ain't just like a part of me. It's a thing that I gotta go get outside.
It's like when you see a single banana or a single orange wrapped in saran wrap, when it's like, bro, the fruit comes in the natural wrapping. Yeah, the natural wrapping rots, but I mean,
it's the whole thing with like certain people that take gummies, like gummy bear supplements, usually annoy me. Reason being is because there's the same ones where you look at the ingredient list, the shit says, you know, FDC yellow and yellow 6 food colorings, and you know, you buy the fucking dried mangoes, and then the pack of the mangoes has added sugar in it with added food coloring to make it more yellow so it can look more mango-y. It's like, what adult fucking complained that their dried mango wasn't yellow enough?
Yo.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they make all sorts of compounds to mix with it when dehydrating, just like that are,
mad that when they ate their vitamin C gummy, that it didn't taste like cherries. A 4-year-old got upset that their fucking garlic tastes like garlic. And now these dickweeds go back in the lab and put all kind of shit in it to get your fucking dumbass to eat the damn cherry. So now we eating FD red,
genetically modified cassava,
because it's too brown. Shut the fuck up, eat the food, and go about your shit.
You almost sounded like an uncle. I heard an accent coming out there.
It's so annoying. Oh, they don't like the pills because it's so
Yo, there's so much food that's wasted from farms because it doesn't like look up to code to go into grocery stores. It's not beautiful.
That blows my fucking mind, because the orange got like a little titty on the left. No one's gonna buy this. The person that wouldn't buy the orange with the extra titty is a dickhead. You stupid. I wanna meet that person and look them eye to eye, and I'm gonna be like, I want your soul to know that I think that you a fucking idiot. You not gonna eat an apple because it got a little bump on it?
Mm-mm.
It grew off the ground, nigga. The ground bumpy. You got bumped, you fat fuck. It's like, you want people to eat you, you goofy bitch? I don't know. So shit like, it bothers me.
Yeah, I mean, it should bother you. It is bothering to think about.
They're making something that's so simple, wild complicated.
So I think that's the process of colonization, to be honest with you. It's like to study a culture, to extract something, to appropriate, to find the value in it, commodify the value, repackage it. So repackage it, sell it to the masses, benefit off the cultural labor of where you got the information on. Like literally extract the value from that culture at every single angle.
Yeah.
Just like bleed it dry. And then have that push back to authenticity later after you've completely commodified the process. Go back to authenticity, which opens up a new lane to re-commodify the ideas
Yeah.
of it, you know, and go back to the traditional thing.
For every generation.
Yeah.
Every generation gets to do the same shit. You know, you get to scream fight the power, and they get to scream go home nigger. Every generation gets to do the same shit. I wonder at what point we get to not use these terms no more, because you know those tropes are just done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like over with. But I don't know, because there's some dickhead that's 12 that's it's until the thoughts get erased. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What do you mean?
like the people's all right, their reluctancy to eat a fucking fruit because the fruit, the banana, the peel on the banana got the little brown dots on it.
Yeah.
That same brain, and then also the person who's like, oh, this person has an accent, so I'm not even trying to treat you like a person no more. Or the person who can't understand why a girl might like a girl. Or it's just the ability to just like your brain just stops doing shit. These people, like, they've learned something up to a point and then was like, I am done downloading, I'm done updating, I'm done changing software. I'm not, that's it. I don't want no new music. I don't want to hear about new clothes, new colors, new TV shows, nothing. That's why, like, I don't go too hard on the nostalgia shit, because, like, it's a different year. You know what I mean? There's people that literally only watch TV that came out in 2003 and only listen to music that came in 2005, and then they stay in that gap of time in their media, and then they don't leave it.
It's like a metaphorical comfort blanket.
It's fucking weird, and it's like, I don't want to get stuck in that type of shit.
So we talk, and I mentioned this, I guess, on the other two episodes before, but we talk a lot about the Kruger-Dunning effect, you know, where it's like where you have little knowledge, there's a parabola. So there's a graph, you know, at the one end of it, you have low knowledge and high confidence. And as you get more knowledge, your confidence decreases until you get enough knowledge that you can have that high confidence again in your skill. But like the reason your confidence decreases is as you get more knowledge, you realize that there are more things that you don't know. So your ability to comprehend your own limitations increases. So your confidence decreases. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in comedy, or with a lot of comedians, forget comedy, in entertainment, or in brands, just in general brands where it relies on a person that's a speaker or something that have all these teams, you have the person at the head or in the front that starts to be really susceptible to this effect, right? To where they're like, okay, the thing that I am putting out is getting me such positive feedback that the rest of the world is this easy, right? If I wanted to do a legal case, of course I'm going to win it because I win all the time in life. Mm-hmm. If I wanted to do sports, of course I'm going to win. You know, if I wanted to be a president, of course I'd be the best president, you know? So that kind of thing. And so I think with that, there is no more desire to learn after a certain point. Because after a certain point, it's not so much about learning because you don't comprehend your own limitations. You assume that you've exceeded your limitations and that there's nothing more to learn. Whereas the most learned people have the only thing in common is the massive self-doubt because they've confronted their own limitations or confronted the thought that their limitations are huge and that they don't know, that they're nobody and know nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think that, I think there's peace in that. Like I feel good knowing that I don't really know shit, and that's all right.
Yeah.
Because even if you just look at time, right, and how it relates to knowledge,
mm-hmm.
The only reason we're fully aware of our time is because of the technology that we have created up until this point. So if all technology development stopped in 1819, we could feel like 1819 right the fuck now. There's nothing separating us from that experience of life where you ride your horse, you go collect your water, take a shit in the woods, you defend your family, and you repeat tomorrow. There's nothing stopping us from living like that to the fuck right today. The only reason we living different and thinking shit sweet is because some motherfucker made a volcano and some nigga grew some weed and sold it, and then some motherfucker made an iPhone and now we on our dumbass laptop, so we think shit is wild different. No, nigga, you are a farm animal. You can go live in the jungle tomorrow. You're made for Earth. You're just made to just live in the fucking floor next to the shit that's outside. You can just live like that. But people don't even realize that shit is there, yo. It's right there.
Yeah, we live, well, maybe not necessarily better, but we do live better. We have a higher standard of living because we know more than we knew. Yeah. But we're approaching a point, and having learned so much since then or whatever, just that we are starting to lose sight that there's a lot that we don't know.
I think it's because it was the focus of the learning or whatever, or the development was only in the external world. Like people are only focused on how do I make this life, this day-to-day tactile, tangible life shit easier. So they focused on that because every app is to make your in-world shit easier. Your banking, your shopping, your fucking, getting food, talking to your friend. It used to be that you had to get up and walk your ass to his house. You had to get up, pick your phone up, and call Trisha. You have to go Rotary. Further back, you have to literally go walk to her. You have to remember where she lived and go find her again. You know what I mean? So like that type of shit, people not living a certain way. So I think if humans did a lot more like introspective shit alongside the race of technology, we would be able to better handle it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like technology is so far ahead of our own personal, internal, mental, spiritual, human development. Like the iPhone 11 is on iPhone 11, but we on human 1 still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't even get the human 2 out yet. Our shit, we got bugs in it. It's fucked up. The software malfunctioning. The camera don't work. You know what I mean? The shit pixelated. We look like we got the Samsung camera. We fucked up.
And I mean, we've been getting mad movies about humans having powers and superpowers and stuff like that. You think it's like forecasting?
I think that's always been there. Because even if you look in every religious text, there's different examples of a human displaying a metaphysical power at least.
Yeah.
That's why even like DC and every comic book universe has comics where the scaling of the power is adjusted to where that person is from. So cosmic is more usual to have a broad sense of power because the sense of the cosmos is that it's unlimited anyway. So if you're from an unlimited space, your power would therefore be unlimited with it. Then you go to like, the closer you get to a human in comic books, you get to a meta-human. So you have the human who is slightly better at being human. You know what I mean? Like when you shoot your basketball, you might miss 80% of the times. I'm a meta, so I make it 100% or I make it 99%. I'm
Yeah,
just
like the
slightly
Shaolin monks and stuff like that. Yeah.
fucking it's Deadshot. You know what I mean? He's a human. You can shoot him and it injures him the same way as everybody else.
If you
But
could catch him.
that's it. It's the
Mhm.
chance that he moves a little bit faster than the average human, so he's meta. So it's like humans show examples of power. Humans do it to themselves. Like when you could touch and you do that shit where you could feel the sensation of heat. You know what I mean? Like the fact that that's there without physically touching is already
Yeah.
enough. So like some shit's happening.
Or the sense of sense of even like kinesthetic awareness. Like
Yeah, like
just without looking, I know where in space and time my fingertip is.
yeah, or if something was like another figure that had a pulse was behind you or in the room, you can kind of sense where that thing is. But if it's something that doesn't carry like that type of energy, like a pulse, you can't sense it the same because that vibration of life isn't there. So like an inanimate object is just there versus something that's breathing because it's also giving off its own vibration.
Right.
And then if you look in comic books, they just give that off as, oh, I'm reading his energies and they make the motherfucker glow. But people do that shit, you know? Like that's a real thing that exists.
It's true. No, that's true. I mean, you see stuff like that, but so I guess that goes back to, since this is a podcast about for kids, not necessarily kids, but young adults, college kids, or whoever that are maybe having a tough time in this country, or don't necessarily have a guidebook for adulthood. So I want to get people. I've just been wanting to get people that like kill it in their industries, and then they can just give advice to their younger selves, knowing what they know now. Because as where we are now, we can't go back in time. But it seems to me one common thread among all the people I meet, and I've been meeting hella people the last few years that are around my age. Our huge common thread is that we constantly think about things that we could have changed in our own past, and we fantasize about it, which is another reason why I think like some sort of TV show about dealing with your past self could be a big hit. But that's something we could write later. But what I am saying is like, so what advice? So where you are now, obviously what you do is, and we said this in the intro, you do comedy. You've been on Jimmy Fallon right before the quarantine. Whole bunch of accolades. People know who you are. You are finally starting to get some of the recognition you deserve. But if you could talk to that angry young you, who didn't know where you'd be, who had no concept of that, what advice could you give him? Like what?
Funny you say that. Like I feel like because when you brought up the fact that I did Jimmy Fallon, I started to get all these other things right before shutdown happened, and then you say like advice for the 16-year-old. It would be the same advice for me in April because like, oh shit, I'm getting all of these things, and this comedy is such like a momentum business. Entertainment is just such a momentum type of thing where like somebody's getting hot, you know what I mean? Like getting hot. And then fucking screeching breaks hit.
Yeah.
On something you've been working 8 years and better on, And then you sit there and you go, is it all over? Because at the time, like back in April, people was like, nigga, Earth not gonna be Earth no more. People can't touch nobody. Sex not sex. Don't eat food. Don't go out. Like, people, we was fucked up.
Yeah, I remember.
So at one point, people was like, comedy's not even a thing. That's not even a thing no more. But get that out of your head. And then with that same thing, I was like asking myself and thinking like, all right, if that's the case, right? If also it was like a religious thing too. Like, do I believe in something other than myself? You know what I mean? Do I just believe like I'm just here?
Do you?
I do, right? But I'm like asking myself this shit. I'm like, if I believe that there's a God and that there's a bigger thing than me, there's a bigger thing than this earth, there's a bigger thing than this people on it and all of the shit that's going on, then I also got to believe that I didn't have the dreams that I had by accident for nothing. You know, I didn't achieve what I achieved for nothing. I didn't work for nothing. I didn't cry for nothing. I didn't put out effort and hours and time and energy and, you know, life force for nada, for it to disappear and ignite. Meanwhile, you know, time has shown over and over. That's even when you look at the Bible, there's different editions of it because Earth started over a couple times in people's view. You know, there was like, all right, we're starting over fresh again. That's happened a couple times in different centuries, different millenniums. So it's like, I feel ignorant to be like, I'm gonna count something out and then in the same breath know that I don't know shit. If I don't know shit about science. I don't know how corona works. I don't know how the body fight it or don't fight it. I also don't know how climate change work or how it stopped in the past, the dinosaurs that was here or weren't here. The Bible don't mention it and the Quran don't mention it or whoever the fuck. Nobody has these answers, but all of this shit is still there. So for me to be like, something is done that is already bigger than me. Comedy is already massively, in comparison, bigger than I am in it. I can only make little contributions to the art, and I hope to continue to do so. But that's it. That's all I'm ever do to it. Is make a couple contributions.
It's bigger than hip hop.
Yeah, and that's it. Just bow out. Just, you know, thank you for letting me play the game, and that's it. You know, appreciate you for even giving me a jersey. That's how I look at it, and then I'm out. But for me to think that and say that something is done and I don't have the answers is wild. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Even Fauci, the nigga that went to school his whole life for disease, is like, I don't fucking know how this works. So how the hell am I gonna be like, well, comedy's dead. Time to chuck it. Fuck my dreams. Fuck career. Fuck everything. Just like that. That means I never really cared in the first place. So, like, shit like that made me be like, you know, take your time, son. Just take your time. See what's gonna come of it. You know, see what happens, because you don't know. In April, bro, we all thought New York was gonna fall out Earth's asshole. We thought it was
done. It was dire, yeah.
And then all of a sudden now we got niggas outside licking ice cream cones on the sidewalk, drinking, right?
Yeah.
People are having fun, double fisting ice cream pizzas and all kind of shit on the streets.
Yeah.
Nobody even cares about going inside buildings. Right? So, like, fine, and if you just, that proves you can't break that spirit, why the fuck am I going to decide what else is broken? Nothing even happened yet. I can't decide nothing like that. You know, it's still good. Like, I hear comics complain about, oh, Zoom shows is trash, and I'm not going to do no outside shows. I'm not going to talk in the park, and I'm not going to, hey, bruh, read up on your history. That's where this shit started. Niggas was in the park. Niggas was in the basement. There was no PA system. Lenny Bruce they were just freestyling. They was in the barbershop. They were at the fire. Dave Chappelle talked about it in I think the Mark Twain speech or something. He called, his grandmother told him about the griot, or his mom told him about the griot, which is something like a figure that used to give stories in Africa, and that was like that village person's title. Like, they were the storyteller of the village. That shit existed from way back then. You know what I mean? Like,
our first epic story was oral, not written. Gilgamesh.
How the fuck you gonna say you not speaking outside? Nigga, you not better than Epictetus. You not better than Seneca. You not better than these niggas that originated speaking to masses outside just with their just the gut. You too good for this? Shut the fuck up, nigga. You want a job.
And I'm realizing now that Gilgamesh is probably not our first story. There's probably way more before that.
A couple niggas huddled up at one point, and somebody told a story in whatever language that was being spoken back then, and those people enjoyed it, and they didn't speak back. They just enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Boom! You got stand up right the fuck there.
Yeah.
One person speaking, and then a multitude of people enjoying the speech and not making it a two-way dialogue. It's a singular thing with it. There's a thing happening, but only one person speaking, and the other people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's
and all the joke crafting and crowd control and all that stuff. That's just theory and technique.
That came after
the
modernity of it. When it started to become, when you can start swirling your fucking wine and being crafty about this, is when all of that other shit started to come. The technicalities of it. You know what I mean?
There wasn't really even stand-up in South Asia until like recently. And that's been blowing up because it's kind of taken after like the American model. American or British model? I don't really know where stand-up's...
American.
Okay, that makes sense. Black.
I think it was a white... They do say it's like... There's a white dude, Mark Twain, is heavily involved in... with like the Mark Twain... Like, they'd always show his like basketball. You know how the NBA started off with just whites and then niggas found out and took it?
They colonized the NBA?
I think that's probably what happened with comedy. Like, a couple white dudes was like, hey, a couple jokes, and then Richard Pryor and a couple niggas.
Yeah, but the industry doesn't reflect that.
I mean...
Not yet.
People that came before us, the black entertainers that came before us, knocking shit down. And then as time goes, we just build on what we've done.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson gets more ethnic people roles than ethnic people, you know?
Even that, the fact that that's becoming a wide cultural joke, like everybody's in on the joke of...
Yeah, it's a meme now.
That's going to affect something. That means something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah.
That's the same way, like, that's a part of, that's why propaganda work, and that's why people try to control it, because the shit that can permeate culture and get into the minds of people will have an effect. So just that alone, if we can, like, get more of that, where it's like, show people in a different light, you know, show people.
Do you feel, since you're a performer, and forget about the whole COVID thing, whether comedy's gone or whatever, but at its roots, doing comedy, being a performer, do you feel that kind of social responsibility because what you are doing is you're introducing thoughts into the world framed how you frame them, with the potential for them to become very wildly popular, because that's what happens with what comedians say.
I do feel that way, because like at most, I don't want to do no shit that make me feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't take it in the sense of like, all right, I can't. There's like a responsibility, but it doesn't feel like something that I'm like shackled to or arrested by. You know what I mean? Like, I feel free to do whatever the fuck I want. I don't know how people want to define me. You know what I mean? Like, they'll take whatever they want to take. Big black guy, grew up in the hood, Jamaican, whatever the fuck. And then they'll want to attribute things based off of what, you know, you can see. But I'm still going to like whatever the fuck I like. You know?
Yeah.
If I'm walking and I don't give a fuck, I'll like whatever the fuck I like. And as long as I'm not gonna put there's no ill intent. I'm not trying to put no negative out, and I'm not trying to fuck anyone over. You know what I mean? I want to experience all of human life too. Like, I don't like the idea of that's white people shit. No, I want a fucking crepe too. I don't know how they taste, but I want the freedom to eat them.
Freedom to eat them.
You know what I'm saying?
If I've not heard a better slogan in my life, the freedom to eat them.
I want the freedom to eat them. I
I
don't
want the freedom to eat them.
all of these like different people attribute shit. They see you and they just start putting ideas on you of things you must think and follow and do. And it's like, all right,
It's like a subtle form of otherization.
yeah, like you can do that if you want. I'm not gonna listen to it. I'm my whole guideline is as long as I'm not putting out bad shit. I'm not talking about bad shit as like quality of product, like, oh, this is the funniest shit in the world. I'm talking about like I'm not trying to hurt nobody.
Yeah.
My goal with this when I grabbed the pen wasn't I can't wait to make this motherfucker like I wasn't thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to put some pain out there. And I'm not trying to do no weirdo sell people out shit. Like I don't want to put on no fucking buckwheat shit.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna say nigga in a sketch and it's a bunch of white people, it better make sense. Better make sense.
It better have a plot point tied to it.
Yeah, in some fashion, because like I don't know, 'cause I was watching. You remember Marlon Wayans and Sean Wayans? What was the name of that show?
The Wayans brothers, or a different one.
God for you, dude.
What?
That's what it's called, the Wayans brothers.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing.
Yeah, so there was a episode where Sean got a job where he was a fucking diversity hire, like a tokenized. He was a tokenized hire at this great job. He was getting paid stupid money, and they was giving him stupid shit to do. Like, here, fold paper for an hour. Take a 2-hour lunch break. We don't give a fuck.
Wow.
All we need you to do is just be black and be here.
Take Candace Owens.
Huh?
He was Candace Owens.
Oh, yeah, something like that. But the difference is Candace, what I'm saying is Candace is like really on that team of I'm a fight for it. If you're going to hire me, say whatever company in this world, Google, right, decides they're going to start a television network and they want to have one token nigga on it. And they're going to pay me. I don't get to write nothing. They got to pay me as a writer, but every time I write shit, they be like, whatever. They chuck it. But they
tell
pay
people you're head writer, right?
They pay me stupid cash for it. You take that money, it's in your hands now. Now that money is in your black hands, your Asian hands, wherever the fuck hands. It's free for you to do with as you please now. You can use that money and put it into your people, yourself, your community, your culture, and make it better.
Things you dreamed of.
So pimp him. Pimp them. You think every pimping hoe is like just some dumb hoe? Some woman that's just fucking for money, she don't know what's going on? No. A couple of these hoes are smarter than the pimp too. Where she know the game and she knows, all right, I need this nigga for this, and they're using it. You know what I mean? All right, I'm your token nigga. I'll be a token nigga for a year, but you better pay me token price. And then I'm going to use that same token price and do all the great nigga shit I wanted to do anyway.
Yeah. But I'm not going to sign an NDA either.
Yeah, like I don't have to love you. I'm going to use you. You want to use me, I'm going to use you. This is a two-way street. We're both going to benefit. Because this whole life shit is a big-ass game.
So
emotional instead of playing a game. Play the game.
That makes me think a lot, and I think this is kind of we've gone really long, so this is kind of where I want to end it up. But that actually makes me think a lot about how, people that look like you, people that look like me, in these industries where we're not represented a lot, where we're underrepresented, like in entertainment, not in doctors, not in, other shit like that, but in entertainment, industries where we're underrepresented that coincidentally have a much bigger social impact or optics socially. So people that look like you, people that look like me, that are in those industries and have to make these decisions, whether or not should I sell myself out, tokenize myself just this much, just so I can have this much power, this much influence. who advocates for those people, right? I know there's like agents, managers, or whatever, but like, who really advocates for those people? Or should there be like people that advocate for them to like give them the keys, show them like, yo, you don't do this, don't do,
So
you
like,
know.
you saying like a black person who's like cooning or something?
Right. Well, like, is there like a green book kind of thing for entertainers? It's like, yo, avoid these people. You know, don't, if you get in a situation where the contract says this specific kind of clause, you know.
That's different. That's more so understanding just the legality of the business, like understanding how to read a contract and shit like that.
No, but like as it relates to
Uh,
how you're going to be tokenized and used in this thing that they're trying to get you to sign.
like in the situation of the Marlon thing and the Sean
Yeah.
thing, like he was at a job where there wasn't any exploitation other than we're not gonna, even though you're fully capable of doing more, right? But we're treating you as if you're just a figure. We just needed a figure to get this thing done, right? So you're not even looking at the person as a person. That's the whole thing with the token. You're not looking at them as a being, as a full human being. You know, it's like a game. You're looking at them like a game, something to gain and use to get something else. And I'm saying, as that person, if you can find a situation where in that token situation, the pro and con or the cost benefit analysis, or it makes sense, or it's beneficial enough where you're not coming out injured. You're not on TV in a fucking mammy outfit with black face paint on and you tap dancing. But I'm making millions, but you want to kill yourself. So it doesn't matter you making millions. You want to die every night. Who give a fuck? Your mama hate you. She don't even want your money, nigga. Like, that's trash. So that's one example of something that could happen. But let's say the token is, this is a writer's room. I'm a diversity hire, and everybody's looking at me with the side eye of, oh, he's only here because he's black. He's getting his cash because he's black. And I was like, yeah, that's the game. That's how you want to play it. You still got to pay me, though. You still got to give me the same benefits. You still got to give me them stock options. You still got to treat me like you treat Tom. So as long as that's happening, I'm going to play your game, but you going to play mine as well, because this shit is open season for anybody. If you have the knowledge, bro, and you could do it, fucking do it. You see how these niggas, like, a bunch of people made it from not having money to having money, and it's because they moved in that room and they talked to this person, they made that deal here. It's a big game, dude. Life is one big ass PlayStation, Xbox, nigga. It's a game. So if you find a situation where you're being tokenized, but it's not in a way where it's gonna hurt your people and hurt your image, and you can use this situation against the same people you want to get better than or get equal to, how the fuck you gonna do it without the funds? You need money. You need capital. You want to start your show to create this educational platform. How you gonna start without cameras? Get the fucking money. You gonna burn your money into the ground? No. These white people talk about how they use other people's money for leveraging investments. They, just in case the business goes under, you have to pay back other people. You don't use your capital, use other people's capital, all these different things. Nigga, play the game. See what these people are doing and get it. Stop being emotional and just be smart first.
Damn. Yeah. That's okay. That's great. That's a good. That's good. Yeah, that's great advice. And we've gone on very long. I just want to thank you for coming on here.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm gonna get you a shirt next time I see you. However, we figured that out, and take some photos of you in it. Put it on the site. You guys buy the shirt, merchandise. There's other shirts. You already know that. We said that in the intro. But yeah, I'm gonna stop recording now. But